coming in, so admit all.
We'll wait for 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe we'll wait for a couple of minutes. Shiju, you're sharing screen. Do you want to check to see if that's working fine? Shiju and Hernanand ഒന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ check ചെയ്യാം.
Going live, Ani. Okay, all the best.
Thank you. Great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's working fine, Arun. Shiju ഒന്ന് check ചെയ്യണോ? തോമസും ടിനുവിനെ ഞാൻ വിളിക്കാം. ഷിജു ഒന്ന് സ്ക്രീൻ ഷെയർ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യണോ?
ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാം സാർ, ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാം, കുഴപ്പമില്ല.
ഓക്കെ. You're on. Oh, it's starting to rain here. I'm putting myself on mute. Shiju, if you're ready, then we can go ahead. Otherwise, we can check later. തുടങ്ങാം ജോൺസൺ sir.
Yeah, shall we? Now
40 people.
we can start. Okay, you go ahead.
There is some background noise.
Request all others to mute. Kindly mute, please. Please mute. Yeah.
Raining heavily here, so I'm putting myself on mute. Okay, we have said so. Thomas is also joined, so we are all ready.
Yeah.
Tinu, Thomas in അടുത്ത് കാണും. Thomas, welcome.
Hi.
Tinu അടുത്തുണ്ടല്ലോ അല്ലേ? So നമ്മൾ all set. We have said Johnson, sir, when you're ready.
Please, may I request all others to mute? Please mute. I see some people are talking. Can you please mute?
So it's your background noises from your account.
Anish, can you mute everybody? Can you mute everybody, Anish?
I can,
That
sir.
account, sir,
Please
the
mute
background
everybody.
noise ആണ്, sir.
The Johnson സാറിന്റെ അടുത്ത് നിന്നാ വോയിസ് വരുന്നതെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു.
No, not
Background
from here.
അവിടെ നല്ല ഓഫീസിൽ നിന്നല്ല.
ഡോർ ഓപ്പൺ ആയിരിക്കും.
അവിടെ നിന്നായിരുന്നു വന്നത് സാർ, ഇപ്പൊ ഇല്ലായിരുന്നു. സോ ബാബുവിന്റെ ഒച്ചയായിരുന്നു.
അപ്പസൈഡ് ഒന്ന് പറയാമോ?
ഇവിടെ ആരും സംസാരിക്കുന്നില്ല. Not from here.
ടിനു വന്നു. ഓക്കെ, വി ക്യാൻ മ്യൂട്ട്. ബാക്കി ഇപ്പൊ അരുൺ വരുവാണെങ്കിൽ മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. അങ്ങനെയാണ്. അവിടെ മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ, എല്ലാരും ബാക്കി എല്ലാരും മ്യൂട്ടാ. ഓൺലി യു ആൻഡ് മീ ആർ നൗ അൺമ്യൂട്ട്. ഓക്കെ, സോ വി ക്യാൻ ഗോ അഹെഡ് സർ വെൻ യു ആർ റെഡി.
Yeah, let's start then.
Sure, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, team. Welcome to this knowledge sharing session that's on LinkedIn as a power tool for HR community. So before moving on to the session, I have certain very positive news to share with all of you. Recently, we got a very happy news from the National Council that our chapter has been awarded the second best chapter award in the country. You know, there are 55 chapters in the country. Out of that, we are the second best. So with almost 96% as a performance score,
So let me say this. Somebody has put a life also in the same room as they're sitting, and that's why you have.
it's really a commendable achievement. So I would like to appreciate the entire office bearers, executive committee members, and all members of our chapter for this great achievement. Congratulations to each and everyone. Along with this, we have another great news. One of our former chairman, Mr. Sridharan Nair, he has been awarded the NIPM Fellow Award by the National Council. That is another great news. Congratulations to Mr. Sridharan Nair. He was a former HR chief of HMT Limited. So these are the two very special happy news that I would like to share with all of you now. There is one more important point to share here, that is on the National Conference of NIPM. The next conference is happening in Mangalore on 27th and 28th of September. That's a TMA by International Convention Center. So they are expecting almost more than 1,500 delegates from across the country, and few delegates are coming from overseas also. I request all of you to register for this particular program.
Johnson sir, there is someone who's switched on the LinkedIn live from the same room that you're sitting. So they may have to move to another room. That is why the noise is coming in. You can go ahead, sir. If that, maybe somebody from the mobile is using the LinkedIn live.
1 second.
There's a lag there, no? So you heard my voice right now.
Okay.
Somebody from the mobile is using the LinkedIn.
Yeah. So please do register for this national conference. It's a golden opportunity. I request all of you to share this information with your friends also. It's a very rare opportunity which happens every year only. coming to our today's knowledge sharing session, it's on
To register for this national conference.
LinkedIn as power tool for HR community. That's the topic. This is initiated by the Future of Work Committee. Actually, there are some small technical snack. That is why you hear this voice off and on, but I'll go on. So I would like to appreciate the team behind this, especially Mr. Anish Aravind. Then the team consists of Arun Anand, Mr. Thomas, Shiju, Shishan, and Chinu. So I take this opportunity to welcome all these champions to this session. Let's give a big round of applause and welcome them. Also, I would like to
Thanks.
welcome the participants for this program. After the sharing, there will be a Q&A session also. Let us clarify our doubts and then move ahead. It will be a very innovative, interesting, and practical session. Over to you, Anish and team. Take over. Thank you very much. Thanks for the patient listening. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Johnson sir, and thank you, NIPM Kerala chapter EC team for giving us this opportunity. So without further ado, let me quickly go into the context behind this. So we at Future of Work Committee has been observing social media spaces within HR community, and we've realized that apart from recruiters who are typically on LinkedIn, the HR professionals or practitioners are not very much there or participating on LinkedIn. So we thought this is an opportunity and we could give some practical tips. And we have some of our own team members and former committee members and all NIPM members, as well as some experts. So what we've done is the committee looked at Arun Anand, who's kind of a I would say an advanced user. You will see why I've denoted it like that as he speaks. And of course, there is also a professional who's an entrepreneur on LinkedIn. I think he helps others enable their LinkedIn profiles, and so that is Shiju Roy has consented to be with us. Thanks, Shiju, for coming in. And of course, we have a very special guest. LinkedIn had about 3 years ago started something called as the Accelerator Program across the country, and there were about I think less than 100 people, if I'm not wrong. Thomas would talk about it.
200,
so Thomas
200.
only 200 people, and Thomas was the only person from Kerala who got admitted to that program. It's an invite, and they will evaluate and then get in. So Thomas has joined us to share some of those aspects, and so we're trying to get some of the knowledge bases. As also we will share the LinkedIn screen and take you through some tips and tricks as well. Hence the topic to be used as a power tool for HR community. Without further ado, and of course we have our own Tinu and Sishan, who are already using LinkedIn, and they would want to share the thing and to see how easy it is to be able to come in and share and create content. So that's from the thing. We're looking forward to an engaging session. Over to you, Arun Anand.
You call me an advanced LinkedIn user, which I'm not. See, you're keeping the hopes high, Anish, by saying that. So team, my name is Arun Anand. I'm an HR professional. I've been working in IT for almost a decade now. So I've also been associated with NIPM. Thank you for the invitation. So I know that I have very limited amount of time. So I'll talk about my experience, about what I have done. So we have Thomas here, we have Shiju also, who is a brand expert, LinkedIn brand expert. So I am probably not the expert here, but I can talk about my experiences, what I have done, what I've seen to be successful. And some of those successes were like in terms of I'll tell you a story where I wrote about compensation, compensation design, like salary structure design. It's a very simple topic. Any HR with 2 to 3 years of experience might be able to write it. Just the fact that I wrote it, that's it. And anybody who has been to HR for 2-3 years, they will know what the content is, but they didn't write it. So I wrote it down. I actually wrote it for one of my colleagues in the US in one of the previous organizations so that the person can understand, and they put it on LinkedIn. So what happened was this was shared and reshared many times in WhatsApp groups and stuff like that. I ended up getting consultation inquiries. Hey, can you probably design our compensation? So there are a few people who reached out to me, and which was not expected. I was not writing this blog expecting that, hey, somebody will reach out in future. But then after that, I thought about it. Hey, why don't I, keep writing? And there was some point of time in the past where I continuously wrote and it got engagements. And then, at least in my circle, there were folks who started interacting with my, writings. So my experience is limited to the network that I am in. And I am probably not the best advanced user you may find, but happy to share some learnings with you. And today I'll start with the definition of a personal brand, if I may. So personal brand could be anything, right? You are trying to become an expert of a topic. You are trying to show that you're an expert of a topic, or you are a thought leader. Okay, expert and thought leaders are different, right? Or probably you're showing the authority that you have in some subject or field, or you're trying to sell some product or services. It can be anything. And the why of personal branding is very important. So if you are trying to set up, for example, I have a HR colleague that I work with currently who is an HR professional trying to establish a consulting business in HR. So he started researching, and I've helped him as well. What is the why for him? The why for him is to establish as a consultant who is knowledgeable in HR. That is his North Star. And he has identified, hey, these are the problems with my profile, and I need to, overcome those challenges. I need to interact more, and I need to write more. I need to talk more so that people see me as an expert in the area. So unless and until somebody sees you as an expert, they will not come to you for consultation, right? So for his agenda was to be seen as a consultant, and he drove the business. He drove the profile that way, and he started getting leads. So my point is, you have to define what is personal brand for you. It could be being an expert. It could be getting those sales calls, etc. So first define the personal goal, and it goes with all the LinkedIn profiles. There is a concept called it's a pretty old concept. LinkedIn coined this term, all-star profile. So it is the very first step I would advise. You review your profile before you build a brand on LinkedIn. Just review your profile and make sure that it's a all-star profile. So what is an all-star profile? I'm not spending too much time. You can Google it afterwards. All-star profile is nothing but there are certain check boxes. You have to have a good professional headshot. You need to have some headlines. I'll come to that later. And summary about experiences, skills. And there are 7-8 stuff that you need to check off to make sure that your profile is actually an all-star LinkedIn profile. Why this is important is everything is SEO, right? Search engine optimization. If your profile has to come up on top in something, there needs to be keywords in the profile. So I'm going to show you some keywords. Here's a couple of profiles here. This is my friend Joffin Joseph, who has been really active on LinkedIn for quite some time. And if you look at his profile, yeah, we understand from the very first look that he helped Indian startups win the US market. Very clear, right? So that's very important when somebody visits your profile. The first image that they see is the headshot probably, and on top of that there's a banner, and the banner tells the person, hey, this guy is helping startups in the US market. And now what I will do, I will just look at the name. Okay, the name is Joffin Joseph, and then there is a description, helping Indian SaaS win the US market. So he's kind of a entrepreneur. I can understand that this guy can help Indian SaaS companies to go into the GTM, into the US market, right? So these are small nitty-gritty details. And of course, the URL of the person is known as vanity URL. For some people, it is, numbers and digits and all those. So that is one criteria for being a all-star profile. So I'm not going into all of these, but just Google all-star profile. That's a very fundamental to start with before you venture into your personal branding. And also I don't have to talk about keywords, services, offerings. So this is what people are going to search for. For example, if you put in you provide resume making as a service, I'm sure you will start getting calls. I've started getting calls. Unfortunately I've not worked on that area, but I get a reach outs at least 1 or 2 in a week on the services that I've put on my profile. So it is very, very, very vital if you're trying to build a brand for you. So this is one thing I wanted you to understand. You have to have a all-star LinkedIn profile. Please stop me if I'm over time. I have a tendency to talk a lot. So this is another profile. This is a very power profile, the same stuff. So you can Google for the power profiles and LinkedIn, look at them and make sure that your profile has the same things. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk to you about. The second thing, of course, is I've some notes. Define your why. That's done. So as an HR, my journey has been different. I was part of a startup in the previous company, which was acquired by the US company, and that company was not in India, and we had a talent problem. Okay, so I was an HR and I was also an employee. So I started with a concept called employee advocacy. Employee advocacy is a way to personal branding as well as the organizational branding. So HR is not just an employee, right? So he or she is a partner in branding as well. So my route was employee advocacy. If you scroll through my old posts, you will see me bragging about my company, what we did, and what are the different things that we did in terms of benefits, vacations, and stuff like that. What are some occasions that we had tough times and how we managed it? What are some OD plans, the organization design plans that we had, for example, the entrepreneurial operating system that we implemented, etc., etc. So it doesn't have to be done by me or maybe by my team, but if you think there is something that has happened in your organization as an HR, which you can share with others, be a storyteller. And that's probably something I started doing and I enjoy doing, and that gives some visibility for my organization and to me as well. And that's where I'm sure Anish also spotted me on LinkedIn, and there are many other people who connect. Oh, you're doing all of these, or your team is doing all of these in your organization, right? So that's a personal brand. And people started asking, hey, how did you do that? I mean, what are the challenges? Then I got into discussions that became a network. That's how we grow. So first thing, as an HR, I would suggest looking at employee advocacy as one of the means into building your personal branding, and also start networking. You have to start following people, connecting people, the right people. Okay, so if you are an HR, I would suggest you can connect with HRs, of course, but you should also connect with the business folks, the CEOs, thought leaders. If you are into probably manufacturing, probably follow someone who is writing about manufacturing business, not just HR. So find the right balance of network, follow them, and unfollow a few people that you don't like, because your feed depends on the kind of people you follow. So you need to be very choosy about it. But another very important thing is you need to start commenting soon. If you are not doing it, so please start commenting on others' posts. So that's something that I've seen as a very, especially in Kerala, people don't comment. They like, that's okay, but they don't comment. So only if you comment, not for the sake of commenting, comment something that adds value to the post. For example, if somebody is discussing benefits, for example, maybe share your experience, right? You write, this is what we did, and it was accepted, or it was it was welcomed by the employees. So that is a value addition. So my point is, don't just comment something, comment for value. Okay, add something if we can. Of course, you can say congratulations, good work, I'm aiming for better reach, etc. But that won't get you to personal brands. Personal brand is where you become an authority or become an expert or you become a reliable person, and that will come to you through posts and comments. The next one, I've very limited amount of time. I'll take 2 to 3 more minutes. So after networking, I'm thinking of hierarchical model, right? So the next one that I did was I started writing short posts. Okay, small posts like maybe 4 or 5 sentences on my thoughts on HR, my thoughts on business, etc. And let me tell you, most of them were rubbish when I started. Like they were like 5 things to be worried about, maybe future, or 5 things about gig economy I'm worried about, or 5 common mistakes in resumes that freshers make. These are okay, but that was I was not defining my why back then. Okay, so now I look back, this is one of the mistakes that most of the beginners do. That especially these days when AI is there. I'm not a really good fan of AI. Using AI for generating content for LinkedIn. Of course, you can use AI to organize your content. Remove structural errors and stuff like that, and probably make it shorter. But don't use AI to generate ideas and post it, because at the end of the day, after 10 days of posting, people will understand that you're using AI and you don't have stuff. So don't post anything unless you have anything valid to post. If you look at my profile, I haven't posted in a while. Except for some of the employee engagement things that we have done. So the thing is, if you don't have any ideas, please don't post. Use AI to beautify things, not to generate ideas. That's very important, because especially these days with AI, a lot of contents are auto-generated, right? And if you have to stand out, of course, there should be ideas, there should be novelties, or there should be some story that you can sell. So that's the second one. You can start with short posts, and you can also use Canva these days, right? Canva is free. You can go there and create some carousels. So one thing that I've noticed with Gen Z, the recent trend, we're all having good and bad times with. So Gen Z has a problem of is said to be having a problem of attention span. So people are more into Instagram Reels and the shorts and stuff like that. So make sure that you can probably put it into a small video if possible. So that's something I'm planning to do. I'm starting to do next month. I'm planning to post some HR videos as a short videos. It's basically knowledge sharing. Employees do not know about labor laws, most of them. So I'll probably start with labor laws. That's my plan. So whether to be successful or not, I'm not sure. There are so many videos on YouTube already. Why should you do it again? It's for fun, right? I mean, some of them will find value in it, and of course, it adds to your personal brand. So make some shorts, less than 90 seconds, or probably carousels. Carousels is basically images, a combination of images that you can just swipe through. So these are what usually sells on LinkedIn these days, and not the large text or articles, etc. You can, of course, write an article if that thing requires to be written, for example, like I did in salary structuring. But my recommendation would be start with small videos, small posts, etc. And then probably if you have more content that can go into a large post, just go there. And then I also talked about, once you have short posts, and then the next step would be the articles. Articles is mostly about helping others, okay, or your learnings. There should be something that others, when they read, that at least it should be fun, or it should be knowledge sharing, or they should get something. That's the first point you have to keep in mind. Otherwise, it'll affect your brand. So just always think about why you are writing it and for whom you're writing it. That's very important. Write articles, and then if you think you can constantly write, start a newsletter on LinkedIn. And that's something that I started and fortunately could not continue, which I plan to resume soon. So a newsletter is basically, it's nothing but a collection of articles. So you publish it every week or every month. Keep writing, and you'll have followers. Followers will get notifications, and then they will say, hey, this person is writing about compensation and benefits. And if I have a question, or if I have a consulting engagement, or if I have a problem, probably I can go to this person. right? People talk, right? So, for example, Sri Lal is known to be someone, I usually go for any, HR, labor law questions if I have, because he has a personal brand of an expert person in labor law, at least in our community. So that's how we build, because he has spoken about his knowledge. He's spoken about what he knows. So unless and until you start writing or probably doing a video, I don't think we will get that. So that's it. With that, I'll stop. Think of newsletters, videos, and LinkedIn lives also like this, and also think of podcasts. So if you don't know some topic, you don't have to really talk. You can invite someone in. You can have a weekly podcast where you will be the host and you can ask, bring in experts, and then probably do a 10-minute or 5-minute video, ask them questions, and they will answer, put it on LinkedIn or even YouTube as well. So these are the things, and use the schedule features, etc., which I'm not going to detail. So the end point is provide value. That's what I'm saying. Define your why and provide value. If you don't have anything, don't write anything. Don't create a video. It will affect your brand very badly. Just provide value. That's it. And with that, I stop. I know that I'm out of time. Thank you, Anish.
Thank you, Arun. Thanks for explaining. We'll look at the summarizing a bit later. In the interest of time, let me call Thomas. I know Thomas has to go for a trip tonight, so he's taken time out just for this. Thomas, thank you for both you and Tinu to join, and we are excited to listen to the journey and how you came on to LinkedIn. And thanks, Arun, once again for covering those topics. And I'm sure people will follow you for more details. And of course, glad that this opportunity gave you a nudge to restart a newsletter. I'm really looking forward to it. And great, those examples are also wonderful. Yeah. Thomas, can we invite you now?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Anish. Thank you, NIPM, for inviting me, and thank you, Arun Anand, for that amazing start. Even I was noting down a lot of points. I got to learn from you. Thank you so much. First of all, Anish has told that I've been part of this 200 member LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program in India. They started this 3 years back. 2 years back. In fact, there is only one Creator Accelerator program which has happened from India. And luckily, I was one of the participants, and luckily, I was the only Keralite. But that is one thing which I have to emphasize here. That is one thing which I want all the NIPM members out here. Basically, you all are the HR people. So that is one thing which I need to emphasize. That is, when I went there to LinkedIn Bangalore office, I introduced myself. I told that my name is Thomas Zakari. I'm coming from Kochi, Kerala. So there's a group of 200 people with around 40 LinkedIn people. So altogether, 230 to 240. I don't remember exactly the count, but I know that except for 2 to 3, everyone was looking at me astonished. So I was thinking whether I said something wrong, whether I made a mistake. No, I don't know. I looked at them. I just again smiled, and then they said, "From God's own country." Yes, I thought they were giving some positive response, but then I started seeing the smile on most of their faces, and they say, "From Kerala." So I said, initially the entire event break down into a just like what we see in the evening, the news time, where everyone was looking at me asking, "Oh, are there people who are active on LinkedIn?" So I said, "What is the problem?" He said, then the LinkedIn people stood up and said, "Usually we don't see much people from Kerala. LinkedIn is one of the second user base of LinkedIn is from India." I'll tell you, LinkedIn has 1 billion users. I'll just give you a basic idea. LinkedIn has got 1 billion users worldwide. And India has the second largest market in LinkedIn with over 117 million users. This was, 2 months back, I guess. That is the latest thing. Out of which, Kerala is the state which has got very less users in LinkedIn. And they were saying that people in Kerala are not exactly looking forward to do things in LinkedIn. And that was their shocking moment, because I being the only person from Kerala, then only I came to know that the reason why I got selected. If there are more people from Kerala, definitely I would have not been got selected. So that is one thing. There is opportunity out there, but we are not using it. So that is what all these people, the 200 people out there, showed their faces to me. That's what I understood. So just giving a basic insight of Kerala, insight of LinkedIn, there is a report saying that 4.6 million hours is the total learning which people have acquired from LinkedIn, the total hours, which is twice the learning hours of people in US. I'm speaking about India in terms of LinkedIn. And the software and the IT sector contribute to the largest LinkedIn members from India, followed by the manufacturing, corporate services, consulting, HR, finance, education, etc. So around more than 50% of recruiters in India utilize skills to fill their roles from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn as a whole, 56% was the growth which happened since last year, and 73% of increase in students sign up in LinkedIn. Let's keep aside Kerala, because we are speaking about the other states apart from Kerala. And on a global scale, if you look at around every second, 140 job applications are done on LinkedIn. So these are some statistics. So I know these are that we have got HR people out here, HR people who are looking for candidates. There are HRs who are looking for job changes. There are business people out here who wants, or people who want to do gigs out here. So as a latest trend shows that around 80% of the B2B leads comes from LinkedIn or services connected with LinkedIn. And we say that LinkedIn has got the business decision makers. And we can exactly say that it is not just decision makers, these are decision makers with budget. So this is what LinkedIn is a whole to everyone. So I suggest that everyone out here, you definitely have an opportunity either to acquire candidates, especially in terms of HR, to get gigs or business, to get a job, and most importantly, just like Arunanand said, to learn more. There is huge learning opportunity. Now, I would say I've been going through Anish Aravin's profile since we met 3 years back during the Corona. I think I met you during the Corona in Clubhouse and everything. So since then, I started learning a lot about NIPM, SHRM, what you people do, what the new trends are. So basically, I rely on LinkedIn for this. And another great example is whenever I speak to colleges, I speak to students, I tell them one story. This is something personal. Long back in 2011, when I was personally struggling to find clients, one of my first and the best client, which has made me what I am, is from LinkedIn. This is not cooked up or anything. This is a pure story. Even Shiju knows it well. So since then, I have been using LinkedIn as a very personal friend of mine. So people listening, you might not feel that, okay, what is it to do in it for me when you're speaking about business? No. I have Tinu, my wife, she's also here. She has been following Anish since I started following Anish. And since then, she came to know about NIPM. I'm sure that this might have been her experience sharing. I'm actually, borrowing a part of it or stealing a part of it. The best thing which I know is that she came to limelight just because of LinkedIn, just because she started following these people. I got to get connected with a lot of experts and a lot of I basically work into the customer experience. So I am right now connected with many decision makers in the customer experience industry. And just like what Arun Anand said, employee advocacy is one of the biggest thing. I would say Shiju out here, Shiju Roy. So we have been doing this employee advocacy since Shiju is an ex-Softian. Right now, he's an entrepreneur. And I would say that Shiju was an employee who did this employee advocacy well, which turned out that he is right now an entrepreneur. So, an entrepreneur born out of employee advocacy is what Shiju is. So that's why when Anish told me about this LinkedIn session, I told that the best person to give the right example is Shiju. So just like what I said, or just like what Arunanand says, if you want to find good talent, LinkedIn is here for you. To all the HRs out here, if you want to find good connections in order to get right answers or give right support, LinkedIn is there for you. If you want to learn about the latest trends, if you want to know what is happening in the industry, not just in your industry, across other industries, LinkedIn is the right place. If you want to grow, if you want to build a personal brand and get noticed, LinkedIn is the right place for you. We have got Instagram. Definitely, there are a lot of Instagram people. There are a lot of reels and celebrities coming out of Instagram. But I would say that is just with numbers. But LinkedIn is the place where you have the right decision makers with who are budget holders. So that is something where professionals need to focus on. This LinkedIn is the place where you have the right decision makers with the budget. So Arunanand has clearly explained on how to do, what to do in a profile and everything. I would say something. I would like to focus on something. Images is something which I understood that works well with LinkedIn. It might not be the same with everyone. But if you start posting something with an image, definitely there is more traction. Say, for example, the latest post of Arunanand shows his team meeting with his clients, I guess, and with his team. That gives more traction. And it might not work for everyone. We have one example, Anish, if you have seen, we had an ex-employee named Reshma. She was new to LinkedIn. Right now, she has got around 60,000 followers.
78,000.
70. Oh, it's growing. Okay, 78,000. She started off zero. And I would like to boast about something is that Shiju, Reshma, and all are ex-Abasoftians, and they all got this fire. Initially, Shiju was the person who lit that fire, but a lot of people in Abasoft itself have taken this up. We are getting new clients from LinkedIn. We are getting good appreciations and connection through LinkedIn. So that is again one important point where when you start posting something which works for you, definitely focus on that. So for that, you need to do one thing which is called experimenting. So to the people out here, start experimenting. Everything will not work for you. That is 100% sure. When I say that image works for you, you start posting with images, it might not work for you because it depends on the audience and the followers that you have. So for every different people, Anish, is a person with hashtags. I have tried hashtags initially, seeing and copying Anish, but it did not work for me. But I see that it works for Anish. It's because Anish has got the right followers who focus on hashtag. But my followers are different, or the people whom I follow are different. So you start experimenting. For experimenting, you need to start posting or being active on LinkedIn. Being active on LinkedIn doesn't mean that you have to start posting every day. It can be commenting. It can be connecting with new people. It can be liking, sharing their post on your wall. Can be anything. Start experimenting. And if possible, start posting. If you don't have anything to post, do not post. Just like Arunan said, don't rely on ChatGPT, get something, post on LinkedIn. No, that doesn't work. LinkedIn has got a background technology where it flags hacks. So you feel that, okay, I have hacked and I have made a big difference. No, it won't work. So just try, experiment, and see what works for you. Just as I said, your audience matters. So it's not just numbers that matters alone. For Reshma and all, she has got 78,000 followers. It might be, but if you see that you have very less number of followers, don't worry. Just focus on them. It will start growing automatically. And it is, as I said, the LinkedIn is a place with the decision makers with the right budget. So you don't have to have a huge number. You need to have quality numbers. So that is one thing that you have to really focus on. And as I said, you have to find out strategies that work for you. To find out strategies, start following experts. You go to Arunaran's profile, go to Anish's profile, Jofin. There are a lot of people out here. Shiju Roy himself is here. You can follow Shiju's profile. You can understand what can be done. So I always say that there are 3 types of contents. Contents for new audience. So to everyone, content for new audience, which can be a bit of fun, not too funny, but can have a lighter version. So that is the content for new audience. Second is the content for old audience, which is a serious content which they have to learn. And the third one, the most important one, is helpful content, that is evergreen content, which is useful for everyone. Everyone can use that. So these are the 3 types of contents which I personally think are the best. Start, and as said, start posting continuously and don't just stick to one, or just don't stick to something. Try every possible ways. And during our tenure, our LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program was something which has given a lot of insights to me. So they selected me on a criteria. It's not about the number of followers. It was not anything related to the numbers. They have selected us on the criteria, on the specific content that I was posting, which was on customer experience alone. If you can scroll down, when you go to my profile, you can scroll down, you could see that I was posting anything and everything on customer experience that could help businesses. So that is one. Everyone will have a niche. So focus on that niche, which was the only reason I got selected in the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program. To all out here, LinkedIn might be announcing the second cohort of the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program in India very soon. They have not officially released it. They have a lot of plans to bring it up. And that is one opportunity where you get, our mentors was Ankur Wariku, Radhika. There were people like them who were mentors to us. We used to meet regularly. We used to learn from them. And the best thing is, Ankur Wariku and all, we got connected personally, which is of something which otherwise would not have happened. So LinkedIn is teaching us only on one thing, which is to invest time in LinkedIn. So I go to colleges regularly and educate the students on the importance of LinkedIn. Last day I was at Providence College in Chenganur. So there were around 200 new BTech students. The only thing which I did, I spoke about LinkedIn, I spoke about all the other things, and it was a 2-hour program, of which half an hour was explaining and making some fun, just ice breaking session. Later on, I moved into helping them create their profile, make them active in LinkedIn. And I got help from Shiju also. So this is what hardly, maybe I would say, I speak to them, I tell them that you have to focus 10 minutes every day, 10 minutes, be there in LinkedIn. We're not asking you to go ahead, spend more hours there. Spend 10 quality minutes in LinkedIn. Try to connect with one new person every day or every 2 days. Learn or read posts which are of useful to you. Find similar people in LinkedIn who follow similar or who have similar categories like you. And rest, you just leave it to LinkedIn. LinkedIn will help you to get that. And I would personally request all the NIPM members out here, if you have a LinkedIn profile with a photo and nothing else out there, it is high time that you have to change yourself. This is one of the best opportunities available. Use LinkedIn wisely, invest time in LinkedIn, and engage. That is the right word. Engage with people to build a relationship. That is the best place where you can build meaningful relationship. Invest 10 minutes. That is more than enough every day, every single day. Make it a habit, and you will see wonders. And that is what the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program taught me. That is the major crux of LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program. Spend time in LinkedIn, and LinkedIn will start giving you. And I proudly say that I continue use LinkedIn every day, not just for posting, connecting with people, learning, and even for business. It has helped me a lot. And I trust me, you spend 10 minutes, you will see the result. So that's it. Over to you, Anish.
Wow, wow. Thank you. I mean, you explained it really well, connected with your life story as well. Superb, Thomas. Please stay around. I know you have a, I think maybe
No,
some.
no. Yeah, we have made a change in the program. It
Oh,
was
wonderful.
like, supporting Wayanad. I would like to add that
I
also
understand.
yeah,
You may want to speak about that before Shiju comes in, and then we take.
it was like Wayanad, due to the last the incidents which happened. Wayanad, the incident happened at one place in Wayanad, but entire Wayanad is getting affected right now. So we have a friend who owns a couple of resorts out there. So they were saying that the tourism is not happening. That is their livelihood. So they have asked us to support, and we as a group are moving to Wayanad just to ensure that we give support to our friend society. So Wayanad is safe. You can definitely travel.
Thank you for those nudges, and I'm sure you'll stay around and welcoming Shiju. I know we have in the midst of time, and we have Tinu and Sishan also waiting. Shiju, it's an honor for us to have you because it's a very unique life story you've now moved into our thing. So without further ado, over to Shiju.
Thank you, Anish sir. Actually, it's a great pleasure. Like Thomas sir and Tinu ma'am, everybody is out here. Like as Thomas sir said, I was his employee. 2 years back, when he asked me when he asked me to post a content. To be very frank, should I block Thomas sir out here? No. Okay, just kidding. So what I did is, like, when he asked me to post a content, I went to Wikipedia, took Onam content, posted it on my LinkedIn. Next day, I got 1 like. That was from Thomas sir. Later, when he came and told me, I was so guilty to admit saying that I copied a content. But he never scolded me, but rather what he asked me is to be consistent, stay consistent, write whatever you feel or whatever comes through your journey. So I started journaling it out. I started writing about KRA initially, then KPI, then I started writing about Six Sigma, Black Belt, bottleneck, Kaizen. Later, I understood none of my audience wants to know this. What my audience wants to know is what exactly is our journey. I understood my niche was into branding, marketing, or personal branding. I understood my niche and started drafting out stories or contents regarding to it. Today, when we see down in Kerala, we have 6 top voices across Kerala into different niches. Unfortunately, the HR is missing out. I mean, not from the recruitment background, but from the HR. But when we go and talk to the candidates or the freshers, the first thing when we say is, like, we are from the HR, they would be like, oh, recruitment analyst. The basic factor is, like, it's the inception that HR is only about recruiting. No, it is not. We have statutory, we have payroll, we have learning and development, we have everything. Operations is the backbone, but the HR is the heart. So what we are missing out today is the original stories, the authentic stories, or the experiences that an HR person can share it out. We don't have to go to ChatGPT and write a story. We have a story in front of us every day. Probably retention is our story, learning and development is our story, upskilling is our story. Everything is our story. Narrating our story is going to build an impact or create a impact to the freshers or even the people who are experienced out here. That's exactly I want to emphasize as a content creator. Like, I was working with Abasoft down the line for 7 years. Even now, when I'm an ex-employee of the Abasoft, but still I will be talking about Abasoft because that's exactly we call as employee brand advocacy. Everyone, each one of us are brand advocates. It's not only the founders. It's not only the founders who have to build a personal brand. It is even the HRs, the operations, the IT, everybody have to build a personal brand, and they have to advocate the brand more than the marketing. When we talk about story, especially understand when we have a niche of the HR around us, when we talk about our work culture, when we talk about the diversity and inclusion, just imagine how much talent are we going to attract towards us. Growth School was termed as 2021, 2022, and 2023 as a topmost touch schools. The reason was their work culture, because they have emphasized not only the work, but along with the work, upskilling as well as the other things. They ensure that the employees are able to grow. Same way, I would really appreciate Thomas sir is out here, so I would definitely want to talk about it. Like whenever we see a story on a LinkedIn, particularly on LinkedIn, I would say like when people say that HR in a story very it was like I'm on notice period. The HR is turning out an enemy to me. It's nothing like that. But here I want to emphasize like when there was a day when Thomas sir has come up to me and asked, why don't you just think about your passion as your entrepreneurship or solopreneurship? He was the one who has guided me. He was the one who had mentored me. So this is the exact thing what we all can implement in our work culture too. Everyone would remember our first job profile. How about the first job profile or the job roles which we handled is a pleasant one to us? We are always a brand advocate for that company, because nobody is going to forget their first job. Nobody's going to forget their first promotion. Nobody's going to forget about their climbing in their career, because we are the brand advocates. So what we have to do, what I feel is like to push more contents, more as a story, so that it can resonate with people. As Thomas sir has mentioned, we have 100 million people in India who are Indian users. We have 61 million companies who are registered in India. 61 million means 61 million HRs. Imagine 61 million stories that's coming out from through their experience. Don't you think that most of the contents that's coming against the HR or saying recruitment or XYZ reasons, that would subsidize? More than that, we shouldn't limit HR into recruiting. We should educate. For example, I still remember when I was just an employee, I was not aware about the statutory things. Then that's the time Tina ma'am stepped up. She came up to me. She spoke about the statutory things. She spoke about POSH. She spoke about ESI. She spoke of rules, statutory rules and regulations. That's exactly we want everyone to step out to create an awareness. And LinkedIn is a platform where we can create that awareness through our story, through our contents. Forget about virality. Virality is just a vanity metrics. Thomas sir has close to 10,000 followers. I have only 7,000 followers, but still, it is not the follows that what matters. What matters is like, even if a content of mine has reached thousands of people, out of thousands of people, if it has reached 100 of my targeted audience, which could be anyone. For me, it would be founders. For HRs, it could be founders. It could be freshers. It could be employees, where you can create an awareness that is going to create a value, and that value is going to create impact across the corporate world. Anisha, this is exactly what I wanted to talk about.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Shiju. So I think we would stay connected. I'm sure all of the people who are listening to you would stay connected, and this is going live on YouTube as well, so that will remain there for people to come back in. So we have, along with thanking you, let me also call Sishan and Tinu now in that order, so that they could. These are two people who've been, I would say, early users in the last 3 to 4 years, and they're doing really well. They're contributing a lot to the thing. Sishan was the one who actually nudged me to create an event on LinkedIn. I had missed doing that, I should confess. So over to you, Sishan. I know we are in we'll have to cut short some of those things, but bear with me on the time. So we have the EC meeting coming up, but it's been an amazing time. So Sishan, over to you. Thank you, Shiju, once again.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here for this session. for being this event also, LinkedIn was an edge for me. The thing is that in 2019, I just want to just share with sharing a screen. How did I got connected with NIPM and all? So just a minute, I'm trying to share my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yeah. So, sorry. In 2019, I was just message Mr. Anish sir. Okay, just asking for like, to how can I connect HR community in Kerala? Because before that, you can see 2019, September 23, I had messaged him to just to know that whether any HR community is there back in Kerala to, because I was just planning to back out from GCC. And initially I was connected with for NHRD, how to know NHRD. And later he said, you can see on his letter comment, he mentioned that about NIP and NHRD. So this is like, this is the way how being here now in NIPM, and it's like, great learning opportunity from NIPM for me. So I just owe as a time limit, most of the like key points which has been shared everyone here. I just want to owe the comment which has been shared, Shiju Roy in our Zoom chat about 3 C's of LinkedIn. Like there should be content, comment, and connections. So as Shiju and Thomas and Mr. Arun also said, these 3 things should be the things to be keep in our mind when we are engaging with LinkedIn. Even Mr. Anish was keep saying to me like earlier times, Zishan, you have to be very active in LinkedIn, learn through and put some comments. It never mind like whether it is right or wrong. So I would request all of my participants here to, just start engaging this kind of with keeping in your mind of 3 C's, content, comments, and connection. So as others said, I just want to take you through few of my LinkedIn sharings, like to understand how does it works. I just a few minutes back, I had put my post here, which is I have reshared. You can see here all the impressions. Just a minute. Good. Yeah, you can see the impressions here. 900. Sorry.
978 it was.
Yeah.
Some matrices.
The network. Just a minute. Something is going on. Yeah, when today's session happened, I just put 4 minutes before about this event. I just reshared to my LinkedIn wall, and I was tagging all today's speaker, and I put some hashtags. And if you come down, if I put any kind of such comments, and this is my first article about power distance index by table size. I never thought about like, I'll be getting 978 impressions. So I'm just saying, I just want to give you an insight that this makes me like more wonder. It was happened like 1 month before when I was in campus immersion at XLRI. So you can see like how it happened. Unique views, 571. Total impressions like 979. And to understand like in engagements, the same like how if some of you have maybe used Facebook pages, like how the engagements be calculated. 3 comments, 13 reactions, and you can see like top article viewer demographics, human resource specialists like 57%, and article view was like 38. And to understand more about this, my article, like, like a total post impressions, like how much also my followers, and 306 was because of one post, 306 people were viewed. Okay, and there was a to search of 72 others. So I'm saying that when we have keep engaging in the LinkedIn, it will be really getting outreach. Even I just recently started my consulting also. It will be giving a people has been viewing when you're putting engagements and when you put
Ishan, I'm sorry
our
to
key.
interrupt. We may have to quickly
Yeah.
close. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
You can conclude.
so that everyone can keep using the LinkedIn and keep your profile, updated and be. I would request if you keep opening the app and everything, you can see now we're getting to contribute our comments on the top to get with top voice labels and all. So, wishing everyone to be keep engaging the LinkedIn and looking forward more. Thank you.
Thank you, Sishan. Because Tinu is waiting so quickly. Tinu, I know a lot of things are covered, but some unique stories from your end would be amazing for HR professionals to emulate.
Actually, when we have two people from same house, this will happen. The experience, everything is shared by him, so nothing much to be shared. Apart from that, everyone know, I was connected to NIPM through the LinkedIn. There was a launcher program. Through that only, I just came to know about NIPM. I was initially itself, I was following Anish. Through Anish only, I came to that there was a program called NIPM. That's how I connected to the NIPM program. And the mileage, even though I had my LinkedIn profile in my college days, I just started using only during my COVID days. That time I identifying myself, I'm getting into the spotlight. I was initially, I don't know what to share in the LinkedIn, or to whom should I connect. I started just liking, commenting, resharing the posts. Those were the things which I done initially. Then I started to comment the posters and started to write small posters, very 4 or 5 lines. That was my initial days. Over the past 11 years in HR, LinkedIn has played a very crucial role in my professional development. I was sharing the organization culture. Even though I am not a recruiter, I was branding the organization culture and the best practices. And indirectly, it was making contribution to the recruitment team. The top talent was attracting to the organization. These are the some activities which I have done for as an establishment branding, as well as for the my career also has built it. Okay, these are the few experience. And I have if you haven't started, just start it. It is not a big deal.
Wow, we made it so simple. Thank you so much, Tinu, and over to you, Shama. I know we are running really short of time.
Yeah. So it was such an awesome session.
One of those will have to be kept on mute. So.
It was such an awesome session. Is my voice repeating?
No, we are fine. We are good. Please go ahead.
Okay, it was such an awesome session and a lot of inputs we got. Especially, I'm making my word of thanks short and crisp because of the paucity of time. The many things which all our speakers had mentioned, Mr. Arun Anand mentioned about the LinkedIn advanced user areas, and thanking Mr. Thomas Zakaria for joining us and for explaining his experiences on LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program. And along with that, a big thank you to Mr. Shiju Rai for joining us again. And you made us understand the value of LinkedIn and not about the number of followers, but how you are providing value through that. Along with that, I thank Arun Anand, Sishan, and Tinu Elizabeth, who is part of our HR community, part of NIPM. And for all the NIPM members here, it is through Anish. We are all nudged to use LinkedIn, and thanking Anish for making this happen. A lot of inputs we got. It was such an insightful session, and it is the program, the Future of Works Committee led by Anish, who has hosted the session. I think, Anish, we should have a full day session on LinkedIn with all our speakers, right?
We should be planning something. I'm sure Sishan
Definitely
and
we
Tinu
will
and all.
plan
And
one. So thank you all the participants and our NIPM committee led by Mr. Johnson Matthew. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. And sorry for taking a lot of time in the beginning. Thank you. Bye.